What a rush. Oh, good. You can see the wife's bras. That's awesome. Good to YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino Beer Review. We're attempting Beer Dudes United again. I don't know if anyone will join tonight or if it'll be like last time where I just talk by myself and I leave. Again, anyone that wants to join is free to join. You just have to say, hey, Chad, I want to come in and join you, have a talk. This was going to start earlier, but as I went to turn on my laptop, I found out my laptop wouldn't turn on. That was fun. So I had to do the force restart on it and go from there. We did just do a beer review. So this is one of the beers from that. This is from Rhythm and Brews. It's the mixtape kettle sour series. This is Ghost Face, which is like a ghost pepper sour. Well, not ghost pepper, but some type of pepper sour. I tried to get my wife to try some. She gave it a sniff and said that just smells horrendous. Why would I ingest that? And walked away. My drone came in, so we'll hook this thing up and start flying it around later. I'm actually really excited to play with this guy, especially up here where there's no trees to hit. It is very, very light. So light in fact that it scoots under most drone laws. My only concern is with the no trees and the fact that we're basically the mouth of the bay, that the winds might be too strong for it, but we'll play that as we go along. I did bring something new for my beer. I've been drinking it with the lemon juice lately, but for when I get to the bud, picked up some Mios to try. Let's see how these go, shall we? Yeah. I'm excited about this stuff, to be honest. Really excited to put it in beer and see what it's like. Yeah. So, as I said, anyone that wants to join can join. Anyone that wants to talk about something, you can post it up there. We'll talk about it. We can get onto almost any topic. Let's try and get the pepper beer down though, and then we can get to the Forefathers beer, and then we can get to some buds. Cheers. Pepper beer's gone. On to the Forefathers beer. Wolf and Dragon. Now, this was actually a really, really good beer when I reviewed it just a little bit ago. Like, did remind me somewhat of a Pivo Pils from Firestone Walker. Oh, somebody's commenting. I do see that. I see two of you have commented. We will read them in 1 second. What do we got going on here? Good day. Sorry, I got to figure out where I'm going to put my camera so I can see better. Because where I have the thing right now, I can't read shit. What was that try? Topic: aliens. What type of aliens are we talking about? Are we talking about like little green men? Are we talking about illegal immigrants? Are we talking about what are we talking about? I'm not 100% sure how I feel on the alien thing. But I don't know. I don't know how I fully feel on the topic. I mean, do I think that one day we're going to be like Star Trek? I don't think so. I don't think our. Okay, those bras are starting to really. Whatever. Look at the big bras. I don't care. I don't think our world is ever at the point where we'll work together enough to get to that type of society. I really don't think we are. And I really don't think there's any reason for anyone to come to us. I mean, look at what we do to our natural resources and everything else. Maybe there's resources we don't realize we have. Who knows, right? Oh, what do we got there? Oh, how are you doing? I'm doing well. The Arctic Circle is very sunny still. Very sunny still. It is what it is, right? We're having a good time up here. I don't know if my internet has slowed down compared to normal. It is very foggy out, which means rain is coming, which means there's going to be cloud cover again, which could really affect my internet. But we'll find out. I enjoy it up here in Tavernitu. I really do. The family is out there watching 90 Day Fiancé the other way, and I don't give a shit. So I'm in here. What do we have in here? Ooh, we have 8 bud in this bucket. So here's a bud. And we're gonna use Mio with the bud this time. We're gonna see how this tastes, right? So we have orange Mio, which I can tell you with water isn't the greatest. Lemonade Mio, which is pretty good with water. I don't know how it's gonna be with beer. And lemon lime. I almost bought the black cherry and the watermelon strawberry because I was curious about those as well. However, these little things are $6.50 up here, and so I got like $20 here in my hand, and that was enough, right? They're really, really popular up here, though. Like it's insane. Oh, what do we got going on? GLB versus Muskoka. Ooh, GLB versus Muskoka. Okay, so we're on this one. Then actually, you know what? We'll do this one first just because it's quick, and GLB versus Muskoka is a little bit more in depth. That's the chick that is her actual name. I don't know. I think she's just a drawing because it is pretty cartoony when you see her on the can and stuff. It's Archibald Brewing Company here in Quebec. They're Nuit Blanche, so white night beer. Archibald basically has a female of some type on every one of their bottles or cans. And again, we'll see if people show up or not. GLB versus Muskoka. Okay, so this one is interesting to me. Okay, you would have asked me this question when I very first got into craft beer. It would have been Muskoka all the way because they just had more easy drinking beers. I mean, they had a lager, they had a cream ale, they had they were just so much more easy drinking. And GLB stuff I wasn't huge into back then. I mean, really all I had at that point was like Crazy Canuck and the Devil's Pale Ale, the 666 Devil's Pale Ale, which is a very good beer to be honest. But those are all I had at that point. And at that point, neither of those were really for me. And looking at my wife's bras were just getting to me. And neither of those were really for me. And getting used to those hops wasn't going to happen. And then they changed the recipe for Crazy Canuck, and I started having other beers from them between Greg and myself and what was going to the LCBO, be it Robo Hop or Octopus Wants to Fight or Miami Weiss or their smoked porter and all their Harry Potter referenced beers and all their the Beard of Zeus, which Kyle was the brewmaster for. Kyle won a homebrewing award and got to make that. He is now the guy that runs, owns and operates Half Hours on Earth. Just the beers just blew up. Even Golden Horseshoe Lager, like their $24 2-4 beer, was really good to the point where at that point they blew up for me, and they would have destroyed Muskoka. We actually did a video there at GLB, and they had some cool stuff when we were there too. And back then, that's when they really only had like the pumpkin ale, the green tea beer, stuff like that, before they basically let Michael Lackey go hog wild. Now Muskoka has a lot more offerings. Muskoka also does their Midnight Kettle series. They do a lot of other things that can keep them relevant. But all in all, I think I would still err to GLB for sure. GLB has more stouts to offer. They have more porters to offer. They have more beers that I find more drinkable to offer. I was going to get Greg to go and pick me some up from them because they had like 16 beers I hadn't had. And I was really excited. I'm like, yeah, I can get all these beers up here and it'll be great. Caveat is they're now not letting you buy them as single cans. You have to buy them in 8-packs. And that just wasn't going to work for me. So, wow. I have the hiccups off of 2 beers. Wow. Okay, so we're going to put some Mio in my glass, and we're going to read whatever this next question is. It looks like it might be Starsky Talks. Your fucking name really fucks with my fucking eyes. It's all clear here. Coming through well. Does writing in caps help you see the words? I do that in a few channels and can do so here if it helps. I don't know. No one's ever really written in caps for me. It might help a little bit. Again, blind guy, it doesn't. I get by getting by, but yeah, it might help. Okay, you know what? We'll start with the orange Mio with the bud. The orange Mio with the bud. And I'm glad it's all clear down there because, I mean, let's do 2 squirts. 2 squirts sound good? 2 squirts sounds good. And the bud. Can't forget the bud. That's the most important part of this. I might start something new down here. Well, up here. I sit down here, but we're up here, right? Mio and beer. I haven't drank with any locals since I came up, so I can't start any fads like that. The only problem with the Mio is it does this, right? It makes things blow up more. But yeah, you can try that. We can see what happens. I appreciate the thought from my my blind ass eyes. There are more comments, so we'll go read them. And again, if people want to join, you know, most of you know how to get a hold of me, and we can work on that. Oh, now we see the bras again. I lost one of my cameras. I lost my action cam, right? So I still know where my 360 camera is. And as soon as my side-by-side gets here, we'll take this out. And I did open up a new comment, so I will get close to see it. But my GoPro is gone. And like I showed at the very beginning of the video, it came in. So we'll play with this sometime soon. And see what type of stuff we can get going with that. Where's Guy? I'm going to guess Guy is working. That would be my guess. I gave I gave all the guys an invite. I sent it to the big group chat. I'm not relevant anymore, guys. Everybody's too busy for me now that I'm up in the Arctic and I had months of no internet. It's okay. It's okay. What is my most favorite beer in the whole wide world? See, now that's a loaded question. Most big time beer geeks, beer dweebs, beer nerds, most people that aren't that for a most people that aren't using that quote for a or that title for a nefarious reason or for a hysterical reason or anything like that, they will usually give you this answer, which is really a cop-out answer, but it's true at the same time. It changes. And it does change. It really does change. I mean, my favorite beer in the whole world right now might be orange Mio mixed with Bud. Oh my God, that's good. Back to your question though. I mean, during the pandemic when we were locked down, my favorite beer in the whole world was the one can of Corona I had. Beer that really got me really into beer and really interested in it was Innocent Gun Original. Innocent Gun being a Scottish beer. What happened was Dougal Gunn was was flavoring the casks for Grants and Sons. I don't remember which one of the Grants and Sons subsidiaries he was working for, but he was taking Grants and Sons whiskey barrels, filling it with an ale, and then leaving the ale in the barrel for a while, and then dumping the ale to make their whiskey, make Grant and Sons whiskey taste like beer. It was supposed to be a beer-aged whiskey. And what happened was one time they were dumping it out, and somebody drank some of what was being dumped out, and they were like, "Oh my fucking God, this is good," because it was basically one of the first big commercial barrel-aged beers in the modern day. I didn't say the first before somebody else comes on here and goes, "Oh, no." One of the big first commercial beers, and commercial beers in that it was a very large batch. It wasn't like they were making 1 or 2 barrels at a time. They were making huge amounts of this shit. And the flavor of that really got me going. Unique from Nickelbrook, which is no longer available. It was their raspberry cuvee. It was fucking fabulous. There's also a raspberry sour from Half Hours on Earth, which in Seaforth, Ontario, which is a fabulous beer. It's one of my 10 out of 10s. There is after doing nearly 4,000 reviews, there is a lot of 10 out of 10s out there. There are some fucking fabulous, splendiferous, amazing brews. And somebody is really trying to get a hold of me. One second. Okay, Greg said he'll be here in a bit. He's working out, which that worries me because he could be doing something nefarious that I don't want to know about. Anyway, so lots and lots of really good beers are out there. My favorite styles are stouts and porters, and then white ales, sours, and as much as I don't want to admit it, fruited beers. I really like fruited beers. Yeah, don't want to admit it though. Good to hear, sir. Good to hear that my internet's actually working from the Arctic Circle. Reverend basically stopped hanging out. Basically, we lived when I was getting divorced and I came out with a lot of my mental health issues. A lot of people bailed on me then. Some people bailed on me for other reasons, but a lot of people bailed on me during the mental health issues. We were having troubles getting together because we all lived in different cities. We all lived in the same area. We were all like 15 minutes apart, but we all lived in different cities. Like Reverend was in Welland. I was in Niagara Falls. Hunter was in St. Catharines. So was the Honey Monster and the Cantankerous Cook and Ali Alejandro and a lot of people. And since I couldn't drive, somebody would either they would have to come to me, or somebody would have to come and get me there, because taxis between the cities, even though the cities were so close, were ridiculous. It was like $95 one way to get from Welland to Niagara, or from St. Catharines to Niagara. And again, it's like a 10-15 minute ride, and it was just ridiculous. And I was fine, especially because I was going through a lot of things then, to just go and stay somewhere. But it was just we all, a lot of us had kids now and marriages and stuff. It just slowly dwindled. But after my divorce and I sold my house and I moved in with my current wife, we moved to Welland, and we just so happened to live an exact 6.5 minute walk from where the Reverend stayed, because the Reverend lives above a tattoo parlor. He's the manager of that tattoo parlor. But in the entire year we lived there, he didn't come over once. He was with a girlfriend at first that wouldn't let him come over, and then after he got rid of her, we just never could manage it. And I was off most of the time because I was on a leave of absence from work. So I'm like, man, I am off Monday to Sunday. Like, you can come over anytime, or I can come here. You're 6 minutes away. I can get piss ass drunk and crawl home. It doesn't matter. So that's what happened with him. Ali Alejandro was more. He was one of the guys that kept saying when we all got together that we should pitch in some money. What happened was, I bought all the beer that we would review. Anything we were going to review, I had no problem buying. But between reviews, the guys could always be seen with beers in their hands. That's because I would always buy 1 or 2 2-4s a week. And I was telling them, you know what, me buying a 2-4 or 2 a week is getting, even though I'm buying budget beer, that on top of the 10 or 12 beers we're reviewing is getting to be too much for me. I'm like, they're $28 2-4s. There's like 6 of you. If you guys can throw in like fucking $4 or $5 each, that pays for the 2-4, and I'm perfectly great with that. And he got a little angry about that. The punter got married, had a kid. We did still hang out here and there, but not as often as we used to. Go watch your show. I'm doing my stream like your mom knows. The Cantankerous Cook ended up moving from town to town to town to town to town, and he actually had a trades job, so he had a better job than most of us. The man-child, Kenneth, Army took him away again. So we all just kind of went our separate ways, is really what happened. Yeah, where are you at? I can't even read that fucking name right. Starky Talks. Yeah, there we go. I know it because I read it when you're in the chat and when you're in their panel and all that. But I never. Where are you at? There's. Mattering where you're at, I could even tell you some other beers that I really enjoy, because I've had beers from all over North America. I've had beers from all over the world. I can usually find at least 1 or 2 beers from somewhere close to you that you could try that I really do enjoy. Okay. Have a good night. Good day, William. All is well. The fact that I can go live again is great. And the internet will do nothing but get better once fiber optic is put down in the bay. And we're no longer on satellite. Okay, the only thing I'll say about the meal is you can taste a little bit of fake in there. You know what? Man Antler is one of the few breweries I've never had anything from. I've always wanted to. I always tried to. I could never get somebody to stop at the brewery if they were passing Bowmanville. And I don't know if they do online delivery now, but they never did while I lived in the Niagara region. And we never went, when we would drive out of Niagara, we never went close enough to Bowmanville to stop and get anything. But they are a brewery that I've always always, always, always wanted to try it. Great names, great art. I hear great things. Never have gone to try it. I even tried to get them to come to my beer festival the 2 years that they were in business while we were still doing the festival. And that didn't work out either. Another Bud. Another Mio flavor. Let's do lemon lime Mio this time. We're basically just wasting time now for when Greg joins us. What other topics, concerns, things do you guys want to talk about? I want to find my GoPro before my side-by-side gets here, because I want to play with the GoPro on the side-by-side. Though, I mean, I guess I could play with the 360 camera while on the side-by-side. But I don't know where the GoPro could have went. All the equipment's here. Like, there's the fucking harnesses. There's the fucking encasement for it. Like, I have no clue where it could have went. I do think it was actually still on a fairly large hookup, because the last time I used it, I was driving the Skidoo and I had it hooked up to. Oh, I was wearing it on my head. So yeah, it's gonna be on the flip clip, because I was riding the Skidoo with it, and I have no clue where it went. What's my take on the new Coors Lime or Coors Orange? I haven't had the Coors Lime. I live in the Arctic Circle now, my man. If I don't get something sent to me, I don't get it. Here are my choices up here. I can buy a $64 12-pack of Bud. I can buy a $74 12-pack of Molson Dry. I can buy an $84 12-pack of Rickard's Red. Or I can buy a $98 12-pack of Alexander Keith's. Those are the 4 beers I can get up here. Those are the prices they're at. You used to be able to order a 2-4 once a week from Marché Turenne or another grocery store in the south. When you did that 2-4 would cost anywhere from $120 to $190, because you have to pay cargo, and you have to pay for them to go and get it for you, and you have to pay a whole bunch of other fees. But because of COVID-19, they cut beer sales for a very long time, and they just re-allowed beer sales. So they haven't reopened the Marché Turenne orders yet. So I haven't had Coors Slice Lime. I had Coors Slice Orange in May last year, and I actually enjoyed it. But I mean, I'm a sucker for those light beers, right? I'm a sucker for most Rattlers. I like that stuff. I don't know why. I can't tell you why. I don't want to admit to it, but I really am. Well, the Mio makes that, you guys can't see it, it looks just yellow on there, but it's almost like a neon yellow over here. I see I have 2 more comments. So let's go see what we got going on, shall we? Oh. Kids that were shouting may have something to do with what? Where are we going with this? I am living in Pavernatuck, Nunavik. So I am here. Let's show you where Pavernatuck is, shall we? It's about so the one The blue arrow with the briefcase in it is where I used to live in Welland. And the blue dot is where I am now in Pavernatuck. So, so Pavernatuck is way up here at the mouth of the Hudson Bay and way above the tree line. I'm about 2,000 kilometers north of Montreal. Now, where I was going to get sent originally was Pang, or Pangnirtung in Nunavut. That was where I was originally going to get sent, which fuck you. Which would have been even further north. So that's where I was going to get sent, is the red dot. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know where that can be. I'm going to check all the drawers at some point, too. Okay. Lemon, lime, Mio, and Bud do not mix. The orange was good. That one was not. Oh, man, that's all there is up here. Hunting is right now it's beluga season, so the locals, the Inuit, are out hunting beluga. Each village gets a certain amount of belugas they're allowed to kill, and I think Pavernatuck gets 6 belugas, so they're all out trying to be the ones to get the 6 belugas because you get paid by what you kill and their weight and everything, right? Foxes, weasels, rabbits, snow hares. Caribou, wolves, polar bears. I'm trying to think of what else is up here. Arctic char is the big fish that's caught all the time. Goose, one of the few peoples that are allowed to hunt Canada goose openly. I've had locals come to my store and just walk in the door and go, "Chad, you want a goose?" And they're holding a whole goose out to me, and I'm like, "Yeah, no thanks." Like, "Why, you don't like goose?" I'm like, I can buy chicken out of the freezer that's already cut up and skinned and plucked, and I can. If you wanna pluck the goose for me and keep the fucking pluckings yourself to make a parka or something, then maybe I'll take the goose. But just to take the goose like that, no, I don't want the goose. Thank you. Duck. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff up here, and country food is a big thing. Country food being Inuit local food, and country food they're really 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 big on. The cook is caribou jerky. I'm not. I know a lot of people love hunting and everything else. Caribou just wasn't for me. I tried it as caribou itself, and I know caribou needs fat, so we wrapped it with bacon and we did this and that. The texture just was not for me. I couldn't get past it. And the flavor wasn't quite what I was expecting, but you know what? It wasn't terrible. It just wasn't for me. And then I tried the Nakuk, which is the caribou jerky. And maybe I'm just spoiled because I've had beef jerky for so long. But I mean, I don't like pork jerky. I don't like turkey jerky. I don't like any pork jerky. Like the bacon jerky is disgusting. But caribou jerky just wasn't for me either. Maybe it's the way they make it, because they don't make it the same way I would make it. They don't make it with the same spices or anything like that. Maybe that's it, but I don't know. Arctic char, I'm not a big fish person, but I actually didn't hate the Arctic char I tried. The goose, again, I haven't had the goose because it was just offered to me as a goose, and I grew up with enough people that were hunters and all that I know how to clean an animal. I don't see the need to clean the animal when I don't have to. It sounds bad and all that, but I don't know. I don't have enough time right now to be cleaning the animal when I can just get the chicken. Basically, what it comes down to. Lots of fishing, lots of hunting. If you go and you see my videos of either on my skidoo going out to, I haven't posted the driving out to the a water pump station yet, but I have posted the I'm going out for pictures, so I stopped every so often to talk. That's posted on the skidoo. It's about 5.5 kilometers out of town, and then we drove out there a few days ago, and I posted that as well, doing little clippets. So you can see that it's fucking beautiful up here. It really is. I'm waiting for my side by side to get up here because then I'm going to go all over the place. I did have a 4-wheeler, an ATV. I did sell it. I want to buy another one. She doesn't want to let me get one, but I want to buy another one because one, it doesn't take as much gas as the side by side, and two, I can go to more places than the side by side would let me. Really, transportation up here is mostly ATVs, side by sides, and well, ATVs and skidoos more than anything. There's a couple side by sides up here, and there's like 3 or 4 dirt bikes, but for the most part, you're seeing hundreds of ATVs and hundreds of skidoos, to the point where recently somebody's ATV was stolen. Now, normally when an ATV gets stolen here, it's somebody just screwing around and they steal it, and they run out of gas, and then it's just left wherever it died. But the ATV was stolen, and she posted on the Facebook site for the town. She's like, if anyone sees my ATV, let me know. I'm like, well, what's your ATV look like? She goes, it's green. I go, okay. Anything more? No, it's green. I go, okay, well, I can see out my window 13 green ATVs at this very moment. So maybe your ATV is there? I don't. It's not like the ATVs don't look a lot different, right? There's not a lot of difference in ATVs, so I don't get the concept of not going out and doing things properly, like marking your ATV. You drive the thing until it dies. Like, half the people are driving ATVs that the wheels are going like this because all the fucking wheel nuts are falling off, but they drive it until the wheel completely breaks off and they have to put a new axle on, and then they'll put a new axle, but they'll drive it until it dies. So I don't get why you don't mark them as your own. Like, I don't know, paint your name on it or something. I don't get that when every ATV looks the same. Like, ATV companies didn't expect there to be towns where your main mode of transportation is an ATV. So there is like 35 fucking red Honda Ranchers parked side by side, and 22 yellow Can-Ams parked side by side, and 15 fucking Yamaha Kodiaks, and like they didn't expect that. Okay, they didn't. Yamaha Grizzlies. They didn't expect that at all. I wanted to order when I got my Skidoo, I wanted to get a Tundra. And the main reason I wanted to get a Tundra was because it was yellow, and it would be the only Tundra in town. So if anybody stole my Tundra, you would know it was my Tundra. I have a fucking white Expedition, right? Everybody else has a white Expedition. There's a couple red Scandics in town. There's mostly Expeditions and Tourings, because everybody uses the Skidoo for hunting, right? So you want the Expeditions. You have your 2 seats. You have your cargo rack. You have like, so it's the big thing here. So everybody has the same fucking Skidoo too. Like, it's weird to me. I am the manager of a store, so I run my own store. My wife is the administration and office manager of the big version of my store. So my store has 2 footprints. It has my store, which is small. It's a couple hundred square feet, and then our big store is like 1,500 square feet. And she is the office and administration manager at the big store, so she's second in command there. And then I am the manager of my store, so I'm fully in command of mine. I answer to the big boss like the store manager of the main store, and she answers to the store manager of the main store, but I'm the store manager of the little store. And stores up here are kind of like a Walmart in the sense that they're a general store. They sell everything. You get your plates, your dishes, your cups, your appliances, your food, your clothes, your skidoos, your ATVs, your SS side-by-sides, your canoes. All that stuff comes from these stores because that's all that's up here. The reason things are so expensive, like the beer being $64 for a 12-pack, is there's no roads here. There's no train tracks here. It's all fly-in. So you have to fly here to get here. Two subsidies on food. There's the KRG, which is the Kativik Regional Government, which is the government that runs up here because they're not fully ran by the Quebec government. They are self-sustaining to a portion. Because Nunavik is like a province within a province. Nunavut is its own territory. Nunavik is a territory within a province because of the way the James Bay Accord was signed. But so KRG subsidizes some food, and so does Nutrition North Canada. What Nutrition North Canada does is specific food, healthy food for you, necessities of life type of food. They put a subsidy on the fare to get it up here, on the cargo fare. And the Kativik government does the same thing. So what happens is most things that you need to live are on par or slightly cheaper than the South. I mean, milk is cheap, eggs are cheap, bread is cheap. Good cheese is on a little more expensive, but close to on par, especially when you figure you're 2,000 kilometers north of Montreal. Excuse me. Pop is $4 a can, $90 a 2-4. So, not a necessity of life, though, right? If it comes up on the sea lift, it's $2.50 a can instead of $4 a can. So that's the type of things, right? Sea lift, you bring up the things that won't go bad, the things that are best before non-expiry, right? The things that last forever: pasta, pop, water, energy drinks, Powerade, Gatorade, rice. The things that can just sit in a fucking bomb shelter forever. That's the type of stuff you'd bring up on the sea lift because you save a lot of money because the boat brings it up. And then it's more on par with being down in the South. As soon as you have to fly something here, especially because there's only one airline that comes here, you can't shop around. It's gross. I had mine was a Honda 4Trax. It was a Honda Foreman, 4Runner. Yeah, so I enjoyed it while I had it, but I didn't. It got too cold up here, and it just wasn't. I have my two daughters. I have my wife. My wife is not a small person. I'm not a small person. It wasn't practical because really only I could ride it, right? I was going to buy the eldest fucking Yamaha Raptor, the little 90cc thing, but the one we had at work was destroyed. Like, it was fucked. And I'm like, okay, I can fix it. But to fix it will cost me this, and you want me to pay you this, because it was returned a couple times because people would take it and they would damage it and then they would return it. And I'm like, I can fix it, but it's going to cost me this much to fix it. And I don't care. I'll pay you this much for it. My problem is that you want me to pay the PDI, and the pre-delivery inspection basically guarantees me that it's working, and you're not giving it to me in working condition, so I shouldn't be paying the PDI. They're like, well, we can't do anything but charge you the PDI. Well, I'm like, well, then sell it to me for nothing and charge me the PDI. Like, well, we can't do that. I go, then I'm not buying it. It can sit in your fucking sea canister forever because it's not feasible for me to do anything with it. It needs a new battery. It needs a new carburetor. It needs, like, I'm not going to do it. But yeah, so I had the 4-track, and I did enjoy it, but it just, it got so cold that it couldn't run, and I wasn't driving it enough because I was working 14 hours a day at the time because of our last store manager being here. He's like, no, you don't get any help. You do everything yourself. Okay. So I had nothing, right? And so I sold it. I sold it. And I didn't even try to make any money on it. I could have made money on it. I mean, I sold it for just what I owed on it. I'm like, okay, I owe this much. This is what I want to get. People were lined up for it. So I sold it. And I have the Skidoo. And the Skidoo was fucked too. I didn't get to the Skidoo in the first 5 months I owned the Skidoo. It only ended up getting 110 kilometers on it. And that ended because the snow was gone by the time I got it, right? Really, by the time I could start riding it, the snow was almost gone. To the point where I would be riding down the dunes towards the water pump station, and I'd be having to dodge sand and cement to get there. And what happened was when it was given to me, when I bought it and there was water in the oil. Well, at the coldest here, it hits -50. That water in the oil froze and it was caught in the oil pump. So there was nothing I could do until it got warm enough for me to drink. Well, and for a little bit of time, the Skidoo mechanic wasn't here. The Skidoo mechanic left in the winter. Who the fuck? What fucking company lets their Skidoo mechanic leave in the winter when the Skidoos are all out? But the Skidoo mechanic left for a month and a half. So while he's gone, I couldn't do shit with my Skidoo because I couldn't get it warm enough to fucking change the oil because I needed to get all the water out of it. So I had to do 2 oil changes back to back basically and get everything out of the pump. Like I had to let all the oil, I had to let it thaw out completely, drain it, change the oil, run the machine for a bit to try and get any water that was in the fuel pump out into the oil again, drain the oil, and change it again. And so I was trying to do that. And yeah, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. So by the time it was fixed, I had owned the damn Skidoo for 4 months and had 55 kilometers on it, and I only put 20 kilometers on it because the Skidoo mechanic had to drive it a few times to check if it was right and to reset the computers and everything. So at this point, it has 110 kilometers on it, and that's from me going from here to the water pump and back a couple times because I was trying to make sure that everything was working. So I was opening the thing up, right? I was going up to like 115 kilometers an hour, just right down the fucking trails just to heat the thing up and make sure everything was working properly. The side-by-side I have coming is a Can-Am Defender. It's a Defender HD5, so it's the least powerful side-by-side they make. It's more the utility style vehicle. It's just for recreation for me. It's just for playing. But I only ordered it because it was in stock and I knew I would get it. And then I was being told we might not get a C-Lift. And I'm like, okay, if we don't get a C-Lift, I want a Maverick or a Commander. And my company's like, well, what do you mean? I go, well, if the C-Lift isn't coming, I only ordered the Defender because you had it in stock and just get something, right? If you don't have this coming, I want to do this because these are the 2 machines I actually want. And they're like, okay, well, your C-Lift's coming. I go, yeah, okay. Again, if my C-Lift is coming, I'll still stay with the HD5. I mean, it's a single cylinder. I don't really want a single cylinder. It only goes up to like 65 kilometers, and that's sort of sad to me. But that's fine. It's something to play with, right? I can go out on the dunes and stuff. But if it's not coming, I want a Maverick Sport or I want a Commander. So, yeah. Any change in perspective since coming up here? Yeah, actually, there's been a lot of change in perspective. I mean, people in the South, and when I say South, I mean people south of the tree line, people that are in what we know as normal society. And I say there's a change in perspective right there. I'm trying to be more careful with your words. Like when I say normal society, this is a pretty normal society as well. I mean, there are cultural differences. There are environmental differences, there are geographical differences, but society is still society up here. But people that are living in what North America knows as normal society, who have sewage and have pipes running, like we have running water. When I say running water, I mean you have a pipe that comes to you and you can run your water forever. People that have normal water service, people that have normal sewage service, people that have the ability to just go to a movie or just go to a restaurant or just go visit somebody or this and that. There is a difference in perspective there where you realize just how much you don't need. We had one restaurant up here, and it was a co-op restaurant, and the co-op restaurant was great to the point where it was basically just cafeteria food. It was burgers and fries and sandwiches, but you didn't have to cook your own meal, and that was what was great about it. And I mean, it was great. And then they closed it. And then they closed it because of COVID-19. Now they don't know if they're going to open it again. But that being said, you realize just how little you need fast food, how you can just cook your own food and this and that. You learn to buy things you're going to eat for sure, not things. I'll be honest though, I haven't had enough vegetables since I came up here. Vegetables are here. They're just expensive, or they get up here and they're already rotting. And I mean, you learn a lot of respect for the people that lived up here. They've lived a hard life, and they've lived a hard life because of our society, and what we've done. They're living in a place where it's almost impossible to get to, and we're the ones that put them here because they were right along the tree line, and the Canadian government moved them further north to watch for the Russians, and then killed all their dogs so they couldn't get south again, and left them up here and would drop off food and stuff. Well, that is part of the problem with a lot of the things that go on up here. Part of the cause of a lot of the problems up here, and my perspective has changed to the point where I love my wife. I love everything that I get to do with her. I love spending time with my kids. I wish I could see my other 3 kids, my 3 kids from my previous marriage, a lot more, because I only get to see them once a year. The sad part is I see them that once a year for about the same amount of time as I would see them for in the entire year when I still lived in the South. But you realize just what type of things you had for granted. Good internet. I didn't think I was going to come up here and have to take 3 days to upload a video, which is what I was at the beginning. I don't know if it was the cloud cover or the bandwidth, but satellite internet, you don't know what you have until you have satellite internet. Food prices. Again, people complain about groceries in the South. Fuck, you don't know what food prices are until you come to a place that food has to be flown into. Beer prices, the beer wasteland idea, right? I was like, I remember me and Lee got mad at me because I was making a joke. He's like, I'm in a beer wasteland. I'm like, I'm in a beer wasteland. No, I'm legitimate. And Lee was in a worse beer wasteland than me. I'm just saying, like, in Ontario, where I was at the time was a beer wasteland. Now, before I left, it wasn't. It was fucking amazing again. But before I left, when we started talking, yeah, it was the equivalent of a beer wasteland. It was Ontario's version of a beer wasteland versus Nova Scotia's version of a beer wasteland. A beer wasteland is up here, where beer is over $60 for a 12-pack, and you have 4 choices, and they're all not that great. So you realize just the things you had for granted. You can't just jump in a car and go somewhere. I mean, you think living in the country in the South is like living in the sticks and all that. Well, it isn't really. Most places in the country, in Canada and the US, not all places, but most places, you're not more than 20 to 50 minutes away from a city. I'm a 2.5-hour jet ride from a city. Like, I cannot just jump into something. You jump into an SUV or a car or a Skidoo or a side-by-side or an ATV and be somewhere that has a movie theater or has a restaurant or has an amazing shopping center or anything like that. You take shipping for granted. I mean, Amazon Prime, no free shipping here. Even if you're an Amazon Prime member, there's no free shipping. Amazon Prime shipping rates are $39.99 for a flat fee, and then $9.99 per pound on top of that to come up here. So shipping is redonkulous. Best Buy actually ships well. You learn to look for the companies that ship reasonably. I mean, that's what it comes down to. What about the punter, Reverend Manchild, and Ali Alejandro? We already talked about all of that.
Hello.
Let me put my earphones in now.
Okay, I have nothing useful to say.
No?
No.
So again, if you guys have anything else to talk about, let's hear it. How's your day been there, Gregory?
Been okay. Went to the in-laws for a bunch of food. It was their 40th wedding anniversary, so didn't have to come out anywhere because of COVID. So, and now it's barking. Hey, you're being disruptive.
There we go. 2 squirts of mango lemonade.
Are you just doing that to make that more palatable?
Yes. The orange was actually really good. The lemon lime wasn't. Now let's see how the lemonade is.
Well, I'm having a Pixie Tonic Dry Hop Sour by GLB. It's not that great, but it's okay for dry hop.
You can go fuck yourself.
I don't like dry hop sours. I just had to buy 8 of them because that's what GLB does now. Is they make you buy a minimum of 8 of any kind of beer.
Well, like I was saying before you got here, I was saying, somebody asked me Muskoka versus GLB. I was doing the whole timeline of when I started drinking to now. And I'm like, now they have like 16 beers I haven't had, and I was going to ask Greg to go get them for me, and then I found out you have to buy a fucking 8-pack, and I'm like, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, an 8-pack getting shipped up here would still be cheaper than buying a 12-pack of Bud up here. But at the same time, I don't want 8 of the same beer.
Yeah, that's the problem with GLB. I've spent a lot of money with them the last month or so, and I think unless it's something I know I really want a lot of, I'm probably not going to buy more shit from them until they relax on these policies. Because I should be able to just I get it if you want to sell me a minimum of 8 beers, but let me mix and match. It's not
well, that would have been perfect. I would have bought 8 beers. I would have said, "Here, Greg, here's money for 8 beers plus a box," and that would have been fine with me. But I'm not buying 8 of 8 beers.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate problem. But I'm sure they're going to have to relax that policy. I honestly don't get why the policy even is. You got employees, basically they sell them to you in the 8-pack holders. What difference does it make if you put 8 of one beer in it, or just frickin' have your employees, do 2? Say 2, you have to get 2 of each beer. So fine, they put 2, or Arnold.
So they're thinking.
Relax.
Their idea is that if they are selling you as an 8-pack, then less people are touching it. That's their idea.
Yeah, probably.
But you're right. If you're putting it in the 8-pack, you're already putting it in the 8-pack. If it's not in a box that the machine did, then you've already touched it with your hands. So you might as well just touch the 8 cans.
Yeah, I don't know. Hold on 1 second. I gotta go pick them up or something.
So that there is a bulldog. You notice you don't hear my husky or my King Shepherd? Notice that? Silence. Unless that door was to open, and then there would be a King Shepherd in my face going, "Daddy, Daddy, I love you, I love you, I love you."
Okay, he says he's going to behave himself. No, he lied. That swipe needs a walk. All right, I'm going to tackle you down. Yeah, well, we're only up to I think we had 185 cases today, so I suspect all these things are going to start going away. But you know what? I'm pretty sure GLB is making more money than they ever made when the retail store was open. I mean, every new release they sell out of in a day. It doesn't sit on the shelf. Like, you know, they're running out of even some of their regular beers. So it's like,
well, they're running out of them because they're selling them to you in an 8-pack.
Yeah. And people are like I'm sure I've dropped at least a few $100 there in the last 2 months, just because, you know, like, okay, this new beer came out. I'm like, all right, well, I want to try it. I like trying all their new releases, so I bought 8 of them. And I mean, as far as sours go, this one's not terrible, but it certainly wouldn't be something I'd typically buy 8 of.
Yep, he does have a bully.
Arnold, and he's an asshole. Right, Arnold? Yes. We're gonna. This is why his mother wants to get him fixed. Stop it. Your eyes are dirty. Come on, you're humiliating yourself. All right.
I can already see Carrie rolling his eyes and getting angry. Your dog! Shut your dog! Carrie has a Shih Tzu, if anyone's wondering. Yes, he has a Shih Tzu. And that's his baby. And because his Shih Tzu does nothing but lay on the ground and sleep, that's what all dogs should do, is just lay on the ground and sleep. Shih Tzu's also like 10. I remember he came over and he met Boris, my boxer, when I lived in the Falls, and he's like, oh, you need to control, because anyone that's had a boxer or knows a boxer, boxers don't really calm down ever. They're everywhere. They're a fucking ping pong ball going off the walls, and they're a monkey on crack, like crawling the ceiling, and it doesn't matter how much you tire them out. They want to be in your face all the time, especially if you're a person they don't know and they just want you to love them. You should love them. You're in their house. You should love them. And he was like, you need to control this dog. I go, this is a boxer, man. This is what he does. Oh, but he's on the couch and I'm on the couch. Yeah, it's his house. He's on the couch.
Well, you got to set some boundaries for them. But Arnold's problem is there's something about he sees me talking to a laptop or an iPad, and he gets very jealous and he gets very aggressive. Like, he was just starting to gnaw on my arm, which normally he's not that big of a dick. But for some reason, he gets very jealous when he sees me talking to a computer. So now he's going to go for a timeout. He also needs a walk. It's getting to his walk time, so he's going to have to get his exercise. But he hates going for a walk because he's lazy.
Yeah, and Nanook needs a walk all the time, or Nanook is fucked. Gizmo hasn't gotten to walk point yet because Gizmo just hit 9 weeks, but Gizmo is going to need more than a walk. Gizmo's basically going to be needing to be released with the fucking caribou and to run for hours on end every day.
Yeah, and of course you got to be careful with all these idiots throwing shit there. You got to like freaking muzzle him so he doesn't like eat anything.
Yeah. Well, next Saturday, the 27th is the town cleanup day, where they close the stores and everything, and everybody goes out and cleans for the day.
And does everyone actually participate?
They have to participate.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
The stores, every resident in town has to like participate.
Pardon me, sorry?
Is this like every resident of the town, or just people who work in stores?
Yes, every resident of the town.
Oh, okay.
Back to the orange Mio, because that was the best one. Both the lemon and the lime did not taste all that great with the bud. But this time we'll just do 1 squirt. Oh, got a new comment. I'll put that up on the screen in 1 second there, whoever it is. That's not me being asked. I can't see who it is, especially from way back here.
Yeah. But I think when that comment's done, you need to put back the thing that Nick needs to eat vegetables, because Nick needs to know to eat his vegetables. The man does not eat vegetables.
The man is old enough that if he's not going to eat vegetables, there's nothing we can do.
No, we got to bully him into it.
There's no bullying him into it. If he isn't eating vegetables, he's just not eating vegetables. You know what? You want to die of scurvy, you die of scurvy.
Yeah.
This is 2020.
Well, in another Facebook chat that you're not part of, that you left a while back, we always like to give Nick shit for that, so publicly shame him. You know what? Nick's doing a lot of bike riding now.
I thought about buying a bike until I drove along the roads here in the truck and almost died a couple times from all the fucking potholes and sinkholes and everything else. And I'm like, yeah, no bikes.
You'd need like a fat tire bike for up there, wouldn't you?
I would think so. There's only one that I've seen so far up here. Everybody's driving like the regular mountain bikes up here. But there is one guy that has the fat tire bike. "2020 is like trying to get into the mind of a dog." Yeah, I suppose so, you know. Ooh, flashy color. Ooh. Just things happening over and over again. Can't focus because something else is happening within a second. My dogs are easier to get into their minds. The King Shepherd just wants your love and your attention and your undying attention, and you better give it to him. You better give it to him now. You better pay all your attention to him, and you better do it now. And the Husky is, fuck you, I want to do whatever the fuck I want. Because I'm a Husky, and motherfucker, fuck you.
Arnold is just pretty much feed me, and then feed me again, and then feed me a third time.
The Husky also is much like my old German Shepherd in that he plays in his water. He like throws his two front paws in the water before he starts drinking. And then like Boris, the boxer, he drags water across the house from one end to the other.
Yeah, well, Arnold drinks and then it all comes out the sides of his mouth as he walks. So.
Yeah, that's what happens with Boris all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's...
Well, Arnold and Boris are both brachio dogs, so.
Yeah. Yeah, and he has of course, he has all sorts of issues with his wrinkles. I have to clean his wrinkles out every day. They're a high maintenance dog.
I wish I still had Boris, though. I wish he was up here with me. I love that dog. He was my baby. But he would have had to have booties, and he would have had to have a coat, and...
Yeah, it's not exactly the temperature.
I would have had to find a way to get them here since they don't fly boxers.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there like there's no way to drive them?
No, there's no roads or anything, man.
You could take a big snowmobile and bring them up here.
It takes a full day nonstop on a snowmobile just to get to the next town.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So there's no way, like I know boxer or flat-faced dogs generally don't fly, but there's no way to, like, I don't know, knock them out, slow down their heart rate or something to make it safer? Or
I have no idea about that one. I was told that Air Inuit would have flown them anyway, and I'm like, yeah, that's great to know that you would have been perfectly fine killing my dog in cargo.
Uh-oh. We got Fast and Furious police action going on outside.
Oh, you guys asked me about, is there anything else that my perceptions have changed? You take for granted the sound of cop cars and fire trucks and stuff. There is a fire truck up here, and there's an ambulance up here. But I've never heard a cop siren. I've never heard a fire siren, and I've never heard an ambulance siren. But my entire time here, and there has been houses that have burnt down. There have been calls to the ambulance. There have been lots of calls to the cops. You just don't hear the sirens, so it's so quiet.
It's like, nah, it's okay. We'll just take our time. So what's new in the storefront? Does your store
today? Sorry?
Does your store 24 hours?
No. No, my store is only running like 3 hours a day right now. We just were allowed to reopen because of COVID-19. And the first day we were open for 5 hours. And when we were telling people what our limits in the store were for people and what time our store was, we started getting death threats. So we shut the store down to like 2 hours a day. Wow. And we're slowly allowing more hours as we have no more problems, basically. The other store is open for about 9 hours a day. 9 hours, yeah.
You don't have any cases up there, though, right?
We don't have any anymore. We were the hotbed of cases. Like Nunavik had 19 cases, and 16 of them were here. And I know 16 doesn't sound like a lot of cases, but when your population is 1,700, that's an okay amount of cases.
Yeah, and I'm guessing a lot of people probably didn't social distance the way would be ideal.
No, and yeah, it is what it is, right? We're at the point where the problem is that like my store is basically the size of a enlarged sea canister, right? Like I'm 60 feet by 16 feet or something like that. Mm-hmm. So when you take into account the size of my store, we can only let like 5 people in at a time. So people get angry because they're waiting outside. I don't want to wait outside. I want to. Well, too bad. This is what the rules are. Right? Like,
yep.
I can just lock the door and not let you in. Period. I'm okay with that. I mean, now my day, I go to the main store. I do my paperwork, I do my stuff with head office, I do my price changes, I do all the stuff I have to do paperwork-wise at the main store, then I get my stock. Then for the next few hours, I help the main store out doing any job they need. Then I grab all my stuff, go to my store, set it up to open it up. I do all the orders and everything while I have one guy on the door counting how many people are in the store. And, you know, what we've basically done, because it's easier, is we just keep the door locked. And then we have to open the door to let them in. Right? So we found that works a lot better than not having the door locked, because then there's more arguments. So we just lock the door. And then when the fifth person is leaving the store, we open the door, let the fifth person out, let one more person in, type of thing, right? So that works really well for us. But during that time, I'm doing my temp checks, I'm doing my orders, I'm doing anything I need. I'm helping out the cashier if she needs it, because a lot of times our cashiers will get into problems that they don't know how to fix, and then I'll have to go and fix that. And then I'm yelling at my door guy, who is my supervisor, who has 2 rules, right? 5 people in the store. Anyone that's drunk, don't let them in the store. And both those rules are broken all the time. And then I'm yelling at him. I'm like, really, man? I can't do both of my job and your job at the same time. So do your job. Only 2 rules. 2 things he has to do, right? Make sure he doesn't let more than 5 people in the store. And make sure if they can't stand up because they're so drunk that he doesn't let them in the store. I always have to crack both of those rules.
Well, because drunk people have money to spend.
This is the thing, right? I don't care if they have money to spend. I don't want to have to deal with the trouble that comes with them in the store, them breaking things, them threatening people, them trying to fight people, I don't care. I get drunk. I drink. I have no problem with you drinking. No problem at all with you drinking. Stay home if you're drinking. I stay home if I'm drinking. I'm not going anywhere tonight.
Yeah, also don't get so drunk that your like blood is alcoholic and you're
People
incoherent.
do that. And, no, I understand what you're saying, but I'm just saying, like, people do that. I'm not gonna badmouth you for doing that. If that's what you want to do, I understand why it's happening. I don't fully agree with it, but I understand it. So if that's what you're gonna do, that's what you're gonna do. Stay the fuck home.
But they need snacks, whatever.
Hey, look, it's a co-op bag. It's my beer in a co-op bag.
Wow. Thank you. That's the co-op that sells the beer?
The co-op is who sells the beer. Yes.
Is it actually a co-op? It's owned by all the employees?
The co-ops are Inuit owned up here. It's not owned by all the employees. It's owned by all the people in Nunavik. Yeah. Lemon lime.
Does that mean all the native people are
lemonade?
They get a check or something at the end of the year based on profit?
Yes, they do get paid out dividends.
Yeah. Cool. Turn that's my wife's alarm to clean. Oh, there we go. It's my wife's alarm to clean the cat crap.
You have a cat?
Yeah. Yeah, we have Chloe, the crazy Persian cat.
Oh, that's right. You do. That's why you were in Niagara. Yes. I've just never seen it on camera. That's all, or heard it.
No, she's pretty reclusive. She doesn't come out all that much, though. Yeah.
Is Agnes awake?
She happens to be. You can tell she's not very happy being handled. Chloe, say hi. No. She says she wants everyone to fuck off. Oh, oh, she actually stayed. That's amazing.
Say hi to Agnes for me.
Chad says hello. She says hello back.
Yes, I heard that. I see that you didn't fix your picture back to the right way.
No, she didn't like it knocked over like that.
No, I know she didn't, but we all did.
I liked it too. I thought it was like art, but she disagreed.
What does Nuna boys mean? Is that good night? Is that? Oh, so one of the cashiers at the main store, he is an artist and he draws all this really awesome stuff. He does these rice paper drawings, and he tries to sell them up here, and nobody wants them. And he likes me and him talk, and he's like, "Do you want any drawings for your wall? I'll give them to you for free." I'm like, "No, you don't have to give them to me for free. I'll pay you for them, buddy." Artists deserve to be like compensated for their work. I just won't have any money till payday. And he's like, "Oh my God, you'll pay me for them? Nobody up here will pay me for them." I go, "You do some really good work. I just never have $100 sitting around, because if I have $100 sitting around, I buy a 12-pack of beer."
There you go. There you go. Got to support those fine people at the Budweiser. My wife actually went into an LCBO and wasn't sure what she wants. And she's like, "Oh, you know what? I'm going to help those poor people at Corona out since they're probably losing money now." So she bought Corona.
They did used to sell Corona up here, and then they stopped because of coronavirus.
Yeah. Also, it just doesn't strike me as a beer you'd want up there. Like, I would think you'd want, like, I know it's not really a thing, but I would think, like, darker beers would be a thing up there.
Well, it hit 7 today, 7. And all I heard is how hot it is and how everybody needs ice cream and stuff. Everybody wants us to get in air conditioners right now. Like, this is air conditioner weather for the fire. 7.
Yeah, 7. It was. We thought it was cold today. It was 19.
Hello.
Hello, honey.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm living the dream.
How's your show?
Mess the fuck up.
Mess the fuck up?
Sure mess
Do you want to try Bud with some lemon lime in it? Lemon lime Mio.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
A lot of things.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
give it a minute. Okay.
Even Greg says, yeah, a lot of things are wrong with me.
Yeah, the sweet taste of Bud should always be unadulterated.
The sweet taste of Bud should be unadulterated? Fuck you, that's gross.
Right.
I love you, honey. I didn't go out drinking with Daniel tonight. How does that make you feel?
You should have went every day.
Oh, he never ended up messaging me. He was supposed to.
Go drinking with him tomorrow.
He had better things to do, and better people.
It's not like he doesn't have a like. He always never has a day off. So.
Well, tomorrow is kind of his night off because he doesn't have to work till noon the next day.
Well, then go drinking with him tomorrow.
Oh, send him here when he goes to get mail, and I'll go with him in case my packages came in that aren't supposed to go to the store.
Oh, the ones that have to come directly in.
Yes, the ones that have to come directly home. Okay.
I will do that tomorrow since I'm in charge tomorrow.
You are in charge tomorrow. Goodbye. I love you.
See you at the store tomorrow.
You are. Goodbye.
Bye.
You work in the same store you do?
She works in the big store. I'm in charge. I'm the king of the small store. She is the duchess of the small store, but she is the queen of the small store tomorrow.
Oh, I see.
Sorry, she's the queen of the big store tomorrow because she never works at the small store unless I call in sick. That's the problem with getting sick. If I'm sick, my wife has to go do my shift.
Yeah. It was in like some sort of teaching or something up there, but
when we were going to move up north, that's what she was going to do at first, was become a teacher, because she was offered a job in Nunavut for 108 grand a year teaching. Problem was they didn't pay your food and they didn't pay your housing or anything like that. Now housing in Nunavut is $3 grand a month for a 3-bedroom.
mm-hmm.
So that's $36,000 right there. So in the end, she was making less than if we had stayed in the south.
Mm. How much longer are you up there? Your tour of duty?
Our tour of duty is at least 2 years. 2 years is the you don't have to pay us to leave portion. But our goal was between 4 and 10 was our thought. 4 and 10 lets us pay off all of our debt. It pays off all of our debt and it lets us save up enough money to buy a house that we really like in New Brunswick and then start our life again.
Oh, you'd be best buddies with Nick.
Well, St. John is where we're looking at moving to, so we would be very close to Nick.
But are there jobs? Because Nick says there's not much jobs up there.
There's not much jobs that pay great, but if you're going there debt-free and your house is bought out outright, you don't really need the greatest thing. Oh, thank you for this blanket you just threw at me. Bye-bye.
You look cold.
I did look cold, didn't I? Yeah, no, there is a lot of jobs. There's a lot of jobs that are minimum wage and slightly above. But, I mean, we'd be coming with so much. Here's the thing people don't realize. If you go back south with retail management experience in the north, you're scooped up way faster than anyone in the south that applies for a job in retail. So we go to a retail place. Yeah, we might not make great bank, but if our house is paid off and all of our debts are paid off and we have absolutely no bills, it don't matter. Our life is fine. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. No, it's true. You don't have to worry about shit.
Yeah. we want the slower pace. We want the beautifulness. We want the friendliness. We want the we both have wanted this life for a while. Like even when I was still Christy, I wanted to move out east. I didn't want to stay in Ontario, but she didn't want to go anywhere further away from her parents than she was. So we were stuck in the Niagara region. Alicia doesn't want to be back in Ontario because we didn't have a future in Ontario. She doesn't want to stay up here for the rest of her life because there's no real future up here for us. I mean, we own a Skidoo. That's what we own, right? Like, and some of the stuff in the house, but not a lot. We own a Skidoo and 2 dogs, basically. So yeah, we're starting over to the point where we need to, once we move down south, there's a lot of stuff we need to buy. Like we need to buy basically an entire house of furniture. That's why our thing is 4 to 10 years, right? As soon as we have enough money that we can buy our house and furnish our house, we'll move south again. And I mean, COVID-19 did nothing but help for us, the housing market in New Brunswick. Like the houses that have been on the market forever that we were looking at when we still lived in Ontario that were 70 grand are now like 40 grand.
Yeah, but that'll also, I mean, if you're talking being there for another 3 years, that'll change. COVID's not going to be really around in 3 years.
No, you are correct, but that'll change to the point where it goes back up to 70 grand. Well, guess what? When you have no bills up here and you finally paid off all your debt, you can save up that 70 grand pretty quickly.
Yeah. Yes, this is true. You know, you're not going to miss the wonderful town of Welland and, meeting up all your friends like Ashley Sexton and the Reverend and going to the Cayman Kettle.
You know what? Here's the thing, right? The saddest part of everything is Ashley is amazing, and Ashley wasn't really a friend of mine until recently. Ashley, I still hung out with more often than I hung out with a lot of the guys that I've been friends with for a decade.
Yeah, Ashley's a pretty cool guy.
No, I'm not denying that. What I'm saying is that the sad part is that Ashley, who wasn't a guy I hung out with all the time, was in my life in that year I was in Welland more than a lot of people. Most of my review people, most of my coworkers, most of the people that I used to hang out with just completely abandoned me, and Ashley would still come over every once in a while, hang out, and do this and that.
That's because you weren't providing them with enough free beers anymore.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, yeah, it is. Well, you find out when you find out pretty easily who the moochers are in your life.
Well, and I mean, you also find out who the people are that won't support you through certain things. Like when I came out with my mental health condition, a lot of people jumped ship. A lot of people jumped ship that were apparently really close to me, and then they jumped ship to the point where I didn't see them often. And then when they got through their problems, they just didn't need me anymore, so they completely jumped ship.
Yeah. That's all right. Better off without these people.
And that person will probably get angry because he'll end up watching this and being like, hey, but yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll hear it because he's in a lot of your group chats.
Okay, I wasn't sure what you were talking about. Now I know who you're talking about. But well, that's okay. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Also, I mean, everyone's got some sort of mental illness, right? So, I mean, I don't know why you can hold it against someone for having. Some people are worse than others, but I don't know how many people there are out there that are completely normal.
Well, and what's normal?
I don't know.
Normal is a very, very sensitive word because what's normal?
Yeah, there's no such thing as normal. Oh, for you and different.
Oh, there's my cigars? I found my cigars. Now the question is, where's my GoPro? I found my beard straightener.
Well, there you go. Now you got something to do.
Now I can straighten Alicia's pubes. I love you, Alicia. She's not watching at the moment, or I would have been hit by now.
Yeah, I would.
That's how I test if she's watching or not. I say something ridiculous to see if I get hit.
When my wife's past the point of caring.
Sorry, what was that?
Leaves.
Well, that's not good. I was really hoping that my GoPro was in that drawer, but it's not. Not good.
Chat?
Pardon me?
Were you hoping to GoPro this chat?
No, Hunter, I understand. Any OV up here? No, there's no fucking OV up here. I'd be buying OV up the ass if it was up here. I don't think there's really OV in Quebec, though. I don't think Quebec really has Old Vienna. Because, yes, I'm in Nunavik, but Nunavik is a territory within Quebec. So that's why there's Bud, Molson Dry, because Molson Dry is like the #1 beer in Quebec. Rickard's Red and Keith's. I gotta pee. Greg, you're in charge.
Oh shit! What should we talk about, Ivan?
Please don't do anything that makes me lose my channel.
Don't worry.
Now let's feature some hardcore pornography. All right, let's put some memes up here. Oh, it's not Arnold barking. Arnold's face is pressed against the cage. Poor fellow. I'm gonna get another beer.
I figured since you're having one, I'm gonna have one.
Oh, I see how it is.
Chances are, since I'm having one, you're having one.
Yeah.
It's a vicious circle.
That'll be it for today.
I've stripped out
my bathroom. Oh my god.
Well, hello, Gregory.
Hello. I'm gonna have one more beer, and then I'll probably be off to walk Arnold. I'll have a beer that matches my shirt. Space
What are you
Invader.
having?
Space Invader IPA. Basically, it's like Bone Shaker Light. Only 6%.
I will have one more beer too. Which one of my flavors should I use in my beer?
I don't know. Lady's choice. Which flavor? What are her choices?
We have orange, lemonade, or lemon lime.
What flavor of beer tasting enhancement liquid should you use? She just
lemon lime.
lemon lime.
I don't like you anymore.
Literally, that's the only one I said because that's the only one I remembered.
Well, there's the lemon lime. I don't think anyone's watching us anymore, which is fine. And if they are, continue talking to us. That's great. We enjoy chatting with you. We do.
We never found out what Nuna Boys meant.
Pardon me?
I don't think we ever found out what Nuna Boys meant. Did we?
No, she. I think she's gone.
No. Is it someone you know or just a random viewer?
Random viewer. She's been around here and there, but no, I don't know her personally.
Yeah.
Or know her. Like, there's a lot of viewers that I know by talking to them over the years. I don't know her.
Just looking through this chat, I don't see much. Oh yeah, GLB.
Right.
Muskoka. I'm pretty biased, but I would say GLB is far better than Muskoka personally. I just don't find
like I answered that question strangely. I'm like, you know what? If you had asked me that when I very first started drinking craft beer, it would have been Muskoka because they had so many more subtle flavors. You asked me when I was intermediately into craft beer, and it would have been GLB because of blah 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 blah. You ask me now, still GLB because they have more stouts, they have more porters, they have more of the beers that I like.
The problem is they don't do these stouts and porters nowadays. They still do some good ones, but I would say the biggest downfall.
They're not as often.
I would say the biggest downfall of GLB is that they're really IPA centric, and nowadays most of the stuff they release are hazy IPAs. So if you're not into those styles, GLB might not be your thing.
The way I looked at it was the original GLB, where really all you could get was Crazy Canuck, Devil's Pale Ale, the green tea beer, pumpkin ale, and like the Christmas spice beer.
The winter ale,
then
orange peel.
Yeah. Then when you let them start bringing out more things like Karma Sutra and stuff, and then when you let Michael Lackley go insane and do whatever he wanted, right?
Yeah.
So those were the three stages of them, and then I'm looking at Muskoka basically as Muskoka, which was always the same. And then when Michael Lackley was allowed to go insane, they brought out like the Midnight Kettle series. Ooh. Right? Like, so they've basically been the same their entire lifespan. They're a lot like Black Oak in that aspect, where they've basically made the exact same beer forever. I can hear my one dog barking outside, which means there's an Inuit around the house.
Uh-oh. Go get him, Chad.
No, my wife's outside with Gizmo. So
yeah, my issue with Muskoka is that they don't release much that's that interesting to me. Like they used to have Mad Tom way back in the day before IPAs were really a thing, and that was exciting. But then they just started kind of making stuff that's not interesting, and then now it's like they bring out every year their vintage of Winter Beard, which to me is not a very good beer to begin with, and it's like, oh hey.
Oh, and what they do to make that is they hold some back purposely so they can charge more for it the next year.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you guys. Fuck you.
See, what GLB does, which I respect, is I don't know if they hold back or, I don't know, maybe they lose cases or something, but every once in a while, like, they'll re-release a beer from like a year or two ago, but they always just charge what they used to charge for it. It's, if it was $10 then, it'll be $10 now. But I do wish, because they created a solstice stout this year, and they made shit tons of it. Like, it didn't sell out to like 3 months after it got released. It was absolutely fantastic. We did the beer anal on it, and it was one of the highest rated. It was that and Double Tempest are the two highest rated ones we have right now.
So these are the 4 beer I'm going to bring over to Daniel's place for Daniel and David, his nephew, to review with me when I go. So maybe tomorrow night. But keep in mind, both of these guys have never drank anything but Bud. Okay? Bud is the only thing they've ever drank. We have Endless Tale Hazy IPA from Jackass Brewing. We have a Blue Streak Sour Ale from Jackass Brewing. We have the Transatlantic American Pale Ale from Abe Herb. And we have the Prince of Darkness Black IPA from Abe Herb. But these are what I'm going to bring over to their place tomorrow to try with me. And I have 1 Bud left out of that case of 12. And then I have 12 Bud left. Well, not 12 Bud. I have a 12 pack. It's a mix of Rickards Red, Bud, and Molson Dry. And then I have 8 craft beer left, which I'll drink on our next BDU, and hopefully it's more than just me and you, because I really want to try and get the BDU thing going again, but I know I've been out of it so long that I'm just the lowest.
I mean, I think, I mean, I don't know where Nick is right now, but Nick and Redbeard's working right now, but usually when those guys go around, they'll join us. So, I mean, 4 people, I think that's usually a good conversation. I think, the old BDU, some of them where we had freaking 9 or 10 people in the chat, it's hard to, no one can talk.
No, I don't like. You know what? I don't like the 9. I think the 9 or 10. I think the 6 that this StreamYard lets you have is the perfect amount. Not perfect maximum amount, I should say.
Yeah,
I think you want at least 3 or 4, but I think 6 is the perfect high number.
Yeah, it also depends who you have. Like,
And I feel like you'd have to plan it ahead of time. People can get the beer and all that stuff.
no, BDU is not. It's not beer analysis. It's BDU is just chatting. Beer analysis is when we do the beer. That's Nick's show.
Yeah, no. Sunday, Mondays are my days off. Sunday, Alicia watches 90 Day Fiance, so Sunday would be a great day for me to start doing things because I watched 90 Day Fiance with her, and it's an amusing show and all that, but at the same time, it makes me angry, and I yell at the screen. Right? I'm like, "You're a fucking idiot!" Like, it's not something I really should be out there for because it makes me agitated, especially knowing what happened with her in her past and her eldest daughter, which is my eldest daughter now. Right? Like, I get angry.
Sorry, what show is that?
90 Day Fiance.
I don't even know what that is.
You don't want to know what it is.
As it sounds, you meet somebody, 90 days later you get married.
Oh, sounds about right. Well,
Pretty close to that, yeah. It's people that are meeting people in other countries that are trying to give them like the American green card to come and marry them and live in the U.S. So, I mean, this season that just passed that I was watching with her, there was the one, like, there was a 55-year-old lady marrying a guy from Nigeria who was like 28. And again, her first boyfriend was Nigerian, and that's my eldest daughter. And he was just trying to get a card to move to Canada.
Hmm.
And it was so I get angry about that. She gets angry about it too, but she likes watching it because she likes to make fun of them because she's lived through that, right? And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to watch this. It just makes me angry. I got to go do something else. So Sundays are a great day for me. 1, because I don't have to go to work on Monday. And 2, because I don't want to watch that show when that's what she's watching. So it gives her time alone with Brave. And it gives me time to just hang out with my buddies, which doesn't take away family time because I don't want to be out there watching that.
And I'm assuming that you only have one TV in the house?
No, we have 3, but we have 1 TV with cable.
Oh, okay.
You know what? I'm having 1 more beer.
Oh, shit.
1 more beer. Agnes, pick a flavor.
What are the flavors?
Just
Again.
1, 2, or 3.
Okay, 2.
2?
2.
I still hate you, but it's better than the first one.
I tried.
Which one did you
Lemonade.
want? Oh, he wanted the orange.
The orange actually is really good in the beer. I couldn't believe how good it was in the beer.
It's probably eventually
If I drank with
orange.
If I drank with locals, I would try and get them to start doing this because this is actually pretty good. But I don't drink with locals. Not because I'm an asshole, but because I'm not friends with really any locals. I mean, Lucasi, the artist kid, is the one I talk to the most, and he's a kid. He's like 19 years old. Yeah.
Well, you don't want to hang out with a 19-year-old?
No, I'm 38. I don't need to hang out with a 19-year-old.
Literally half your age.
What was that?
Half your age.
Half my age. Yeah, no. He's an awesome kid. He's a giant pothead. He's the guy I asked Carrie about what the cost of an ounce, a gram was up here. And yeah, so the drug dealers up here sell a gram for $40 a gram. I don't understand why anyone buys from them, because you can order as many packages as you want from the Society Quebec de Cannabis. And if you buy pre-rolled, it's $8 a gram to $10 a gram. If you don't buy pre-rolled, it's like $4 to $8 a gram. So I don't understand why you would pay this guy $40 a gram when you can buy it from the south for anywhere from $4 to $10 a gram.
It's probably just people don't want to plan their.
Well, I think that's the thing, right? They don't want to plan anything out. They just want to be like, "Oh my god, I need my pot right now."
Yeah.
And the pot, you can tell when somebody's smoking stuff from the south and when they're smoking stuff that this guy's selling, because this guy sells like ditch weed. It smells so bad. And then other guys come in and you can tell that they're fucking flying high. Like, it's like, oh my god, what are you smoking, kid? Mm-hmm. And I actually, Quebec, I don't know if Ontario started doing it, but Quebec sells liquids infused with THC. So I bought 3 pops from the SQDC. I bought a pot and soda. I bought a pot and ginger ale, and I bought a pot and watermelon mango to try on the channel.
Yeah, I don't think they've approved liquids yet.
No, they just recently approved edibles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they don't have edibles here yet, but they have liquids here.
Well, I tried.
Now, what I'm trying to do, I've been trying to talk them into getting, because they're trying to find a draw, right? Because the co-op sells beer, and they're like, "What can be our draw to the store? If the co-op has beer, can we get beer too? We should be." And realistically, if the co-op sells beer, we should be allowed to sell beer as well. However, my argument is, okay, how about we do something better for the community, and we find out if Quebec allows licensed stores. Because if Quebec allows licensed stores like Ontario and everything else, let's try and be a fucking pot sale store. And they're like, why? I go, because how many fucking people come in hot on pot that are trying to fight us or threaten to kill us? None. They come in happy. Let's sell them pot. Let's sell them that. You know, like.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, look how mellow Carrie is, and he's always stoned out of his mind.
Well, Carrie just never shuts up. I love Carrie. He never shuts up.
Never.
Carrie, you're gonna watch this at some point. You're gonna get angry at me, but
say,
realistically, look in on yourself. You never shut the fuck up. Even Alicia says, I like Carrie. I do, but I think I'd punch him in real life because he never shuts up.
He's a man who likes to talk.
And that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Just accept where you're at.
There you go.
I accept where I'm at. I'm a fucking albino who has a wife that for some reason loves him, and I'm glad that happens. Because before this, I had a wife that said she loved me, but really she was just trying to use me, and once she got everything she could out of me, she was done.
Huh. And let's not forget, she was nice enough to falsely accuse you of all sorts of crimes that you committed.
Yes, I mean, I fully admit that there was probably emotional abuse. I fully admit that there was verbal abuse. But that was on both sides. It wasn't on just me. But the other things, I will not take the responsibility for at all because that didn't happen.
Yeah, but yeah.
I'm the man, so I'm wrong.
Yeah, exactly. It's typical. Typical. No offense to any females watching that aren't this, but it's typical something that females can do to take advantage of a situation.
Hey, baby.
Hi.
I love you.
Me too.
Do you really? Why?
Not sure.
Yeah, don't make her think about it because she may like. Hey, wait a minute.
Okay, guys, I'm finishing this beer and then I'm going to bed with my wife. So if you have any topics to speak with me and Greg, tell us so we can talk to you about it.
Yeah, because
Here,
we have lots of insight on stuff.
Oh shit! What did I just do? I didn't drop my computer. I don't drop my computer. Somebody else dropped my fucking computer.
Who dropped your fucking computer?
I'm gonna guess the 11-fingered wonder.
I know this. She's never in here.
She's always in here. She was playing with your credit cards.
Us. She's never in her home.
All right.
You're currently showing your ass, though.
Oh well, I show my ass to the world all the time.
Why?
Greg likes it.
The sheet's still wet. Almost dry.
Have you seen my GoPro anywhere? That's not good. I have no idea where my GoPro is. No idea. Greg, have you ever watched Workaholics?
Never.
Never. It's a good show.
I've never even heard of that show. Have you heard of that show?
Nope.
Workaholic.
Why watch a comedy? Why watch a show about being a workaholic? Be a workaholic.
It's a comedy show. It's the characters are so ridiculous that it's amazing. And actually, Agnes, one of the main characters, the guy that actually helped write the show and design the show, reminds me a lot of Greg. So you should watch the show.
Oh, there you go.
Just what I need, more Greg.
Yeah, you gotta get.
It's Greg. It's Greg as a pothead, but all he thinks about is sex, and it's actually pretty amazing.
Yep.
I never.
Workaholics.
Sounds like Greg.
I'm saying that the Adam reminds me of Greg a little bit. Not quite, sort of, a little bit.
Greg actually gets laid.
Oh yes, Greg does get laid, unlike this guy, but this guy reminds me of Greg.
That guy's like a virgin, which is why he gets so sex.
I'm still a virgin. Don't assume that I get laid.
Greg says he's still a virgin. Don't assume he gets laid.
I will not assume that his wife has sex with him.
She is not assuming that his wife has sex with him.
Please and thank you.
You know, we weren't married in the church. So
Yeah.
in the eyes of God, we're not married.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Exactly. God
They
did
weren't
not.
married in a church, so in the eyes of God, they're not married.
Depends on what country you were married in. I mean, if you were married in like the jungles of Papua New Guinea, that doesn't really matter, does it?
I wish we heard that, but we had a dickhead on a motorcycle.
Yeah, we're the Fast and the Furious.
She said it depends what country you're married in. If you're married in the jungles of Papua New Guinea, it doesn't matter.
No, I mean realistically, we are married legally, but
Yeah, we always joke that we're so religious that we weren't married in a Catholic church. So
Neither were we. We weren't married in the Catholic Church. What do you mean we're not married?
I said we were
What are you
there.
talking about? Camp is a fake officiant.
A real wedding.
I'm sorry I didn't give you a real
I
one.
had to keep my options open.
You had to keep your options open. What are you talking about?
yeah, Nick was there. She totally could have had Nick instead.
We could have had
Yeah, you
Greg.
could have had Nick. You could have had Nick or Greg.
Well, I guess no, Greg.
She said no. She said no. She's good. Thanks.
Yeah, no, Greg was married. Could have had Carrie.
Yeah, you could have
You could have had Carrie.
with a broken rib.
Nope, definitely not.
And,
Radar.
oh, radar. There you go.
Radar? Nope.
How about Ewart?
You were
You were-
married.
I don't think he's happily married.
Still married though, legally.
No. Hey, Ewart's a good catch.
Joe?
Oh,
Did I meet Joe?
Joe wasn't there.
Joe was there.
Last year?
Yeah, at the last Albino Rhino Fest, Joe was there.
Oh, yeah, they had that.
Oh, what an average pop.
I think you're confusing me with your ex-wife.
I'm not confusing you with my ex-wife. I could never confuse you with my ex-wife.
I'm sure you can. I'm sure there are times.
There's never been a time I've confused you with my ex-wife.
Wait. How many times have you called me Christy in our marriage? Our relationship?
Okay, how many? Yeah, shut up.
How many times have I called you by an ex? Oh, that's 0. So I think I win this round.
Jeez, Chad.
Okay, I was on antidepressants that fucked with my brain. How many times have I called you Christy since I've been off my pills?
You haven't called me Christy.
No, answer the question I just asked you. How many times have I called you Christy since I've been off pills?
Trouble.
No, but you've only been off the pills for a few months.
There's no trouble in paradise. Is there trouble in paradise that I don't know about? Am I too drunk to realize I'm in trouble? There's always trouble in paradise. Great to hear.
Listen, just say there's a trend on TikTok where
Like if I don't want to cry at least once a day.
and then you watch the reaction.
Yeah, apparently it's a trend on TikTok to call your significant other by another name. So there you go, Chad. You're just trendy.
Okay, so there's a trend on TikTok to call your ex. Let's call your wife or your significant other by your ex's name and record their reaction.
So you're just.
So that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
I was trying to go viral and forgot to record it.
Because you can't find your GoPro.
Because I couldn't find my GoPro. Agnes is amazing. Love you, Agnes.
We need a speaker going, so we're not just repeating
I
this.
You didn't have a GoPro when you called me Christy. By the way, I've never been called a more insulting name in my entire life, and I've been called a whore and a bitch and a cunt, and Christy was the most insulting name I've ever been called.
I don't know if did you guys hear that? Or do I have to repeat?
Oh, we heard that.
Yeah. To be fair, my mom calls me my sister's name, and my sister is the biggest bitch in the world. So, yeah.
Yeah. Now, Chad, if you call her Greg, then you've got a problem.
I've never called her Greg.
Oh, Greg. Oh, yeah, Greg. Oh, yeah. Oh, you're so good, Greg.
Sorry, Greg. Never called her Greg.
And now you're going to, because now I've put the seed in your mind.
Well, no. See, what happens is, again, the pills I took would fuck with your mind. And what would happen is we would be bitching about my ex-wife. And then she would be talking to me, and I would call her my ex-wife's name, and she would just look at me like, I'm going to rip your fucking throat out. I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, right away, I realized what I said. But, 14 years with that thing giving me the trauma she did. And then the pills mixed in. And I'm talking to my wife, and I'm like, bang! Oh, God, I'm going to die. Like... And it's the second you say it, you're like, oh, fuck, I hope she wasn't listening. You're looking away.
Yeah, it's like there's times I say something I shouldn't. And she's like, well, I didn't hear him. I didn't say anything. You didn't hear it?
I love you, right? Okay.
She's in love with you, Chad. She's fucking moved out to the middle of butt-fuck nowhere to be with you, so she must at least like...
She's used that as an argument with me, too, when I've asked her if she loves me. She's like, I moved to the middle of fucking nowhere. Do you think...
If that's not love, I don't.
I mean, it's a pretty good argument. I mean, like, unless she's playing some long con with you, where 4 years.
Even Greg says, unless you're playing a long con with me, I should just shut up.
Don't blow her cover, babe.
Yeah, Chad. After 6 years, you guys are going to buy a nice house in New Brunswick, and she's going to take it from you.
In 6 years, we're going to buy a nice house in New Brunswick, and you're taking it from me. That's Greg's thought. Maybe.
See? Oh. Well, Agnes is pissed off because I blew her cover now. It's like I guess we broke the code.
How's your beer going?
My beer has just been completed.
How about we both do one last beer?
Don't do one more beer. Half an hour. Yeah. Waiting for him to poop.
Agnes says I can only have a beer if she has a beer.
I think that's fair.
She can have a beer.
All right.
I'm going to have a beer. I have to have a craft beer. I have to have, what did Nanook do to make kids crap their pants?
They saw They saw me and Gizmo in between the house and the store, so they came riding over.
Yeah.
And they came around the corner to pet Gizmo, and they didn't see Nanook there. And Nanook came flying around with that vicious barking.
Oh, that's what the barking was.
That's what the
I'm
barking
like,
was.
I hear Nanook barking.
It's true. You're taking me.
And Greg's like, go and give them shit. I go, no, my wife's outside with Gizmo. He goes, okay.
No, he was scared the shit out of the kids. The kids just stopped dead, and they're like, oh, and I'm like, he's chained, you're okay.
Did they come and say hi to Gizmo?
Yeah, Nanook was not happy with me for letting them pet Gizmo. He was some fucking mad at me.
Nanook could come. The problem is you don't know which kid beat Gizmo. Nanook, sorry.
Well, it wasn't those kids, because I've never seen those kids around before.
Yeah.
But I think they're from the other side of town.
What kids were they? They
were older kids. It was a girl and a boy on bikes. Bikes had poker chips in their shoulders.
So when I'm drinking, I don't know what you have, but I have Salter Streets. It's about bloody time. And I don't know if you watched my video for this, but I'm going to read part of this here. Because it basically says, this is not a double hopped or triple hopped, rip your taste buds apart, fruit punch. Sorry, I'm trying to read it in darkness because Alicia turned the light off. Peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter face pucker kind of beer. You want a milkshake? Then go to a fucking ice cream store. This is a beer. And yeah, that's what I'm drinking. It's a beer.
It's a beer.
A beer.
Well, I'm going to have a Forlorn Unicorn. It is a New England IPA from GLB, because why not?
That's one of the beers I wanted you to get for me until I saw I had to buy an 8-pack.
Wah. Don't worry, things will change and we'll be able to buy normal shit from the retail store.
So Greg lives not exactly, but basically across the street from GLB.
Yeah.
And GLB had 10 beers I wanted, 10 beers I hadn't had, and I'm like, oh my god, I can add 10 videos to the channel. And then I found out that I had to buy 8 of each of those beers. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not going to have 10 beers for the channel.
Well, but the thing is, you kind of don't.
Good night, Brave. Good night, Brave. Have a good night. Love you.
You're loud.
You're loud.
You're screaming at the top of your lungs.
I don't think she's heard me scream if she thinks this is screaming at the top of my lungs. Just wait till I have to plunge the toilet for you again, because that's going to cost you $5.
Well, how many? Because I was going to say, I mean, you don't need to really buy 8 of them. If it's something I already have, I can just ship you one and just tell you what it costs individually or whatever.
Well, yeah, I could say that and see if you have them.
Nice warm sheet.
Oh, do I have to get up to put the sheet on? Or do we want to just sleep on this thing tonight? Come on, let's just sleep on. You're making me get up.
Get up.
Fuck! I'm trying to drink a beer and talk to Greg, and you're making me get up. I'm not.
Yeah.
I can still do bad things to you.
Yeah,
Was that a no? I'm not doing.
but you got to get hurt.
I think I could get it up. What's that?
I'm not gonna be mean.
What do you mean you're not going to be mean?
That's what I mean. I'm not gonna be mean.
Greg, I got to take my headphones out for a second.
All right.
They can hear you right now, so you better not. I love you. I'm going to hurt you. I can't hurt you, though, because if I hurt you, then Christy wins. And she can say, look, he did it again.
No.
Yeah, and you're literally online saying you're gonna hurt her. So this chat's going.
I said, but I can't hurt you because if I did, then I'm in trouble.
would beat you with a shovel just to prove Christy wrong.
You would beat me with a shovel. You are correct. Because you know I wouldn't fight back.
Mm-hmm.
This is such a good beer. It's about bloody time somebody made a good ESB.
This one's okay. It's a hazy pale ale. There's too many of them. Probably not for you, but around here it's like every second beer is a hazy pale ale. So,
well, what do you have from them right now?
In my fridge, unfortunately, I just drank a lot of stuff that you would have wanted, and I just finished it like that. Like this was just my last one.
Well, you can't read what that is.
The Pixie, the sour. I have one more left of these that you can have if you want. I don't even like this one all that much, but I'm not that big into hazies.
No, the problem is if I'm paying you for the shipping, I have to make it worthwhile, right?
Yeah.
The shipping is between $20 and $30, mattering which size box we use.
Yeah.
So I have to make it worthwhile.
I'm happy to hang on to it for you, but until there's what is it in the box? Typically, like what
the boxes are flat rate boxes. So basically, it's whatever you can fit in that box. If it fits, it can ship anywhere in Canada for X amount of money.
Yeah,
but it has to be under what is it? 5 pounds? Yeah, so under 5 pounds. So that's like 10 cans.
It depends on the size of the box. Yeah.
No, all 3 boxes are the same weight.
No, I don't think they're the same weight.
No, they are the same weight. I've looked it up. So, I mean, it comes down to, I don't know what it costs, though, to just ship up here because, like, Amazon charges an arm and a leg to ship anything up here, but Best Buy charges almost nothing. So it can't cost that much to ship up here without the flat rate box.
My parents sent an easel up here for break, and it cost like $45.
But an easel doesn't
And
weigh
that
a
was a
lot.
big box.
You are right, it is a big
Well,
box.
on Amazon, it would have been a lot more.
Yes, with Amazon, it would have been like $85.
It would have been like $100.
Well, I mean, I can get Best Buy to ship me a air conditioner for $15. Now I know you're not going to send me beer for $15, but I'm just saying, like, the charge can't be that bad. But I've never really shipped anything up here other than through Amazon or the flat rate boxes. What we usually do, if we're going to buy movies and stuff, we send them to Alicia's parents, and Alicia's parents send them to us.
Yeah.
Or why don't you drop it off at Alicia's parents' house and then next minute send something?
I don't think Alicia wants me to know where her parents live.
You know where? Oh, Carrie knows where her parents live. Carrie showed up at her parents' house the day after the festival.
Like unannounced?
No, we told them the address because we had beer for him and Nick.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it was on video.
in terms of what I have from GLB, I don't have a lot because I've drank through a lot of the beers I bought in the last few weeks. I got 1 can of this left. I'd have to look. I think I have a can of Robo Hop, although you've probably had that before. It's the non-New England one.
I have had Robo Hop. I bought it at the LCBO, and you got me a can, so I could do a fresh can versus an old can.
I don't know.
I'll be right back. Braid's got out of the washroom. I'll be right back. I got to pee.
Okay, we're gonna go look.
Talk to Alicia. She can't hear you, but she can talk to you.
He's gonna go look what he has.
Ow! Don't kick me in the face.
I'm surprised how behaved Arnold is right now.
Yeah, considering what a twat he was being earlier.
Yeah. He was probably tired and was fighting it. My brain is literally going, no, don't pay white. What? No, you can't pay white. Yeah, but I
Great.
He really is, and I'm actually surprised that at 9 weeks old he is that good in the crate.
Yeah, he won't shit outside.
He won't shit outside, but he'll sleep in the crate all night. Did you throw both my pillows on the floor? You're a bitch! You threw my pillows on them. Fuck you! I love you. Don't throw things at me. I'm trying to put my headphones back in. I love you. Hi guys, I'm back.
Hey.
Here's something else my perspective changed on. I went back to living in the country where you don't flush the toilet when you pee.
Oh. Yeah, because you don't have like
we don't have running water, right? We have running water, but we don't have running water, and the fact that you can't turn your tap on and just leave it on. We have a truck that comes and fills up a water tank. And it needs to come. Yeah, if they come in for free coffee tomorrow, tell them they don't get shit unless they deliver water.
I don't really have to do that. All I have to do is tell them to come give us water, and they will. They actually like me because I'm not an asshole to them.
Are you saying I'm an asshole?
Yeah.
Okay. As long as we know where we're standing. I need sewage drained from the C-store. I'm on my own? Yeah, William doesn't like me.
Nope.
Because he called me and he was like, I need mayo. I go, you better get here by 6. And I'm up on him.
When was that?
Yesterday.
At the C-store?
No, at the main store.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just give him some special Rhino mail?
No, this is the thing, right? Like, we have hours of operation. And we're open for, like I said, 9 hours a day. And we get called all day asking if you're open. Are you open? Are you open? Are you open? And one of the guys that works in the service industry here called me, and he's like, are you open? I go, until 6. And he called me at like 5:45. He goes, well, I need mayo. I go, well, then you better get in line before 6. And I'm up on him. I'm like, I don't know what you want me to say, buddy. You need mayo, you better get here before 6. You don't get here by 6, you ain't getting your mayo. Like, jeez. I don't know what you want.
The man needs his mayo, Chad, and you've like been denying him mayo. Praise Zorg brother. Okay.
The Zorg hordes from StarCraft? I was a Zorg rusher.
That's from Man Ray of Hope 23. Is that one of your friends, Chad?
Everybody's my friend. I love everybody.
Yeah.
Not the guy who needed mayo.
Yeah, you don't love the guy who needed mail. My wife's right.
I love him. He just had to get there by 6, and he got there by 6. And he was in the store. We let him in. He got in. It was like 6:15. I was standing in line with him, and he's like, and he was behind me. He's like, "Oh, you're standing in line?" I go, "Yeah, my wife called me with a grocery list. I had to pick it up." And then I'm like, "Oh shit!" Because I was waiting in line because she wanted breadcrumbs, and Ron, the grocery manager of the main store, moved breadcrumbs from where they used to be to somewhere else. So I had to stand in line for 15 minutes to find out that breadcrumbs weren't where they used to be. And I'm looking and I go, oh, fuck. I guess you move up a person in line there, William, because the breadcrumbs aren't here. And I had to go find them for her.
Wait, so you're standing in line to buy shit from your own store?
Well, yeah, it's if I didn't stand in line, I was going to not be fucking able to buy them until like 6:45. I got out of there at 6:30. I'm like, hey, you're closing the store. Have fun. I'm leaving. Bye-bye. I got my shit. I'm leaving.
Oh, I see. Okay. So I was going to say otherwise, yeah, just like wait for the store to close, then buy what you need.
Well, we closed at 6, but at 6 there were still 30 people waiting outside. And at 6, we send somebody out. We're like, okay, you go stand at the end of the line, and anybody else that shows up does not get in the store. Anyone behind you is not allowed in the store because we're closed. Anybody ahead of you in the line can get in because they were in line before we closed. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the Toronto attitude coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No attitude.
So I mean, that's the same type of thing we were doing at my store. So like I said, when my store opened, we were open for 4.5 hours the first night. And at the end of the 4.5 hours, I went outside and I was standing in line, and people are coming up after me and they're like, "We want to get in and get chips." I go, "Well, you're not getting in because the person in front of me is our last customer. We're closed." He goes, "I'll fucking kill you." I go, "I don't think you know who you're threatening right now, because I'm not like another Southerner. I will punch you in the throat. Like, you ain't getting in." "Oh, fucking, well, that's fine. You can fucking kill me. You're still not getting in the store." "How about you tell the guy ahead of me exactly what you want and give him money and he can buy it for you? I'm trying to problem solve for you, but you ain't getting in the store." "Well, I don't want to do that. I don't know what I want." I go, "Well, then you're not getting in, so you're not getting anything you want."
So basically, like, Alicia's right. You're an asshole.
Yeah. No, I want to go the fuck home. Okay, if I close at 9:30 and I have to be home by 11 because there's a curfew, I ain't just leaving the store open until fucking 11:45 as people keep coming in, because now I can't leave the store to go the fuck home.
Well, listen, you got a curfew, but you're like a snow assassin. You'll hide. No one will see you out and about.
There's no fucking snow. It's dirt. Everything is dirt outside. It's dirt.
I don't know. I just picture that it's all snow all around.
No, it's all sand right now. There's fucking dirt and mud everywhere.
Yeah. I imagine with that much snow on the ground in the winter, it must be real dirty right now. Like all the mud and shit.
It is very dirty right now. I actually was amazed because I was walking through the kitchen. I looked out the window. I go, "Oh my God, there's still snow on the ground in town."
Jesus.
Because there's like snow. There's still snow right up against the main store, because I think I've shown you a picture. The main store is like 20 feet away from our house.
Yeah.
Not even. Like 3 people laying down will touch the house. Well, touch from the house to the store. Now, I mean, it's a lot longer if you're walking to the front door, but yeah, the store's almost nothing from us. And then my store is in the middle of town, so I actually have to travel to get to my store.
Well, too bad. You should have worked at the other store.
I know. I should have worked at the other store. Oh, we have 2 comments. People are still watching? I'm amazed with this.
Yeah, we got some fun comments now.
Better an asshole than a pussy? Yeah. I guess so. You're also a big fan of eating ass. Okay, well, you're allowed to do that. I mean, would you rather me be an asshole or a pussy, honey? It's a toss-up.
No, she wants you to toss the salad. That's what she's saying.
You want me to toss your salad? That's what Greg's asking. No.
Well, then that there goes my theory.
Do you have any idea where my GoPro is? Can you ask your dad if he wants to send me a GoPro? He kept telling me he was giving me GoPros, and then I moved up and he didn't give me a GoPro.
Check your toilet. Maybe somebody set up a bowl cam to see you pooping.
I'm really hoping nobody set up a bowl cam. I'm really, really, really hoping nobody set up a bowl cam.
All right, we got live Rhino pooping. We're live streaming it.
I almost wasted an entire an entire can of fucking Febreze today after I took a shit at work. I was at the main store because we started at the main store today because today was inventory. I started at the main store just spraying.
You started shitting at the main store and then continued on to another store.
Yeah. I started at the main store. I went into the main store at 9, and I left the main store at like 12:30 to go to my store because we were doing inventory. So inventory, we were at the main store at 9. And at 9:30, I'm like, I really have to shit. So I told my partner, go take a smoke break. I got to shit. And I wasted almost an entire can of Febreze in that washroom after my shit because it was gross. I actually farted in this room, and Alicia just left me. She's like, I'm done. Bye.
Dude, that's not how Febreze. People in my work just have Febreze works too. You don't need to spray the whole can. You just spray it just as effective.
No, it needed more. But so we got sent to the other store.
Shit in the
And when I say we, it was just me and one of my two supervisors that went over to my store to start the inventory at my store. And he started on the chips, and I started on the he started on small chips, and I started on the big chips, and I'm like, awesome. I'm gonna have like 90 chips a fucking section. He's gonna have like 800. And he's freaking out. He's like, why is there so much chips? I'm like, you're not selling enough, you fucker. He's like, fuck. Ah! And he's counting the chip. And he has to count them bag by bag, right? And each one of these boxes has between 30 and 50 bags of chips. And I'm laughing as I'm counting fucking 10 chips a shelf. And I'm like, I love this. I love this. And then we switched, and I was on candy, and he was on pop. And I'm like, I fucking hate you right now. He's laughing at me. He's like, why? I go, because the candy's everywhere. He goes, yeah, well, my pop are all in one section because you put them all in the cases, you fucker. And I'm like, yeah, I hate you. And then his uncle, who was my other supervisor, showed up. And his uncle had no idea how to use the cipher counters. And every tag he did, the numbers just kept going higher. And I'm like, what's going on here? Because I don't know what button he was hitting, but like everything he counted just went up. So I realized this because I'm picking up all the inventory sheets and putting them in a pile so that we can bring them back to the main store to send them to head office. And the time I realized he fucked up was when I got to my toilet paper aisle. My toilet paper aisle has like 80 items, and on the sheet he wrote like 1,215. And I'm like, that ain't right. And then I picked up the next sheet, and it was at like 2,000. I'm like, there ain't 2,000 things on this sheet. And so I go up. I go into my back room because by this time the grocery manager from the main store is at my store helping me count the back room. And I'm like, we're probably going to have to recount this stuff. And he looks at me, he just laughs. He goes, yeah, it happened at the main store too. I don't think they know what they're doing. I go, well, you can go tell him. He goes, I don't think he understands what I'm saying to him because Danielle is so French and ain't funny, and we aren't. So it was a miscommunication. He had no idea what he was doing, but somehow he was just adding items to it. Like it worked if you took that number he had and minused it from the next number. That number was right, but somehow the computer he was using to scan things wasn't right. It was awesome.
And then you went and stunk up the bathroom again.
Actually, I did stink up, and my toilet isn't a normal toilet. My toilet's an up flush. So my toilet has a macerator on the back of it, and you have to flush it like 3 times per shit. And the macerator, if you've never been around a macerator and up flush, it's like, whenever it flushes, right? It's horrible. It's scary.
That sounds like that would stink too, like when it's like chopping up the poop.
It's especially stinky if you have to open it up and try and get stuff out of it that's stuck in it, which I've had to do twice.
See, I work in a building that is predominantly female, like about 90% of the staff is female, and none of them want you to know that they poop. So, as soon as they go into the washroom.
Alicia, you poop.
No, women don't poop.
Alicia doesn't poop.
No, women don't poop. It's true. But apparently,
see, Greg knows women don't poop.
Greg sounds like a smart man.
Greg sounds like a smart man.
But
continue.
No, the poop dissipates and they pee. There's no pooping. The butthole is only there for decoration on a woman.
The butthole's only there for decoration on a woman. And
yes, that too.
Who are you talking about, Henry? I hope. She's probably just a model. She looks kind of like a New Yorker. Very, very hot, very nice. Man Ray of Hope, who are you speaking?
I'm not sure who he's talking about.
You are a model, honey. I love you. You are the hottest woman ever.
No,
I'm not full of shit. Look what you do to my manhood. You are fucking hot. For anyone that doesn't know, psychology is a big thing with sex with me. You could be the hottest woman ever, and if I think you're fucking ugly, you're ugly. You're not going to get me up.
I bet you'd have sex with Nick. I'm just throwing it out there.
I would not have sex with Nick. I love Nick. Not have sex with Nick.
His beard would tickle you in all the right ways.
No, his beard would not tickle me in all the right ways. You realize that I'm only repeating you so that my wife hears what we're speaking of, right?
Yeah, I guess the kids are asleep. You can't just put the speaker on because it's like doesn't make for great television. No, but what I was saying is that, like, women at my work, they don't want you to know that they poop. So every time, one of them goes take a dump, they do what you do, is they just dump a whole can of Febreze into the bathroom, to the point where you walk by the bathroom, and it's like, okay, well, clearly we know a crime has been committed here. Like, you're not
You are not incorrect in that assessment, sir.
And, it's gotten to the point where I'm just like, I'd almost rather just smell your shit than smell more Febreze, because Febreze is so disgusting to me now.
Yeah, no, I don't normally. We also have, in case you run out of Febreze, there's off the deep woods in there.
Like Skintastic?
So just in case you don't want, like, mosquitoes to bite your genitals or your poop.
Oh no, man! The mosquitoes are like the size of a toonie. There's already mosquitoes flying around the back door of my store, and they're like the size of a quarter.
Well, you say the big mosquitoes are the harmless ones.
They are harmless.
They're not. They're not just the male mosquitoes.
No, sir, no. These are gigantic fucking, I'm going to suck your blood until you die.
Wow. What a lovely land you live in. It's all full of mud and people want to murder you.
Yeah, no, you know what? And that's the thing. And again, if anyone that knows me who really wants to come up here, you have job openings in my store. We can bring you up here. But yeah, it's fun. It's beautiful. You learn a lot up here, and you learn a lot that you didn't expect to learn. And there's not much more to say. You learn a lot.
Well, I'd love to take you up on that offer, but I got a flat-faced dog, so I can't come up there. So I'm going to
bring your shepherd with you.
You know what? She'd love it up there.
She would.
Other than, the people trying to kill her. But no, she would love it up there because she's a cold. Well, no, but there are people up there. It's not like there's no one up there, but she likes the cold. So, because she's a big furry and fat, and she doesn't like it when it's too hot. She's an Arctic dog.
No, I went and got the information for Carrie, knowing that Carrie was never coming up here. This is the place to go if you really want to have the ability to change where you are if you're stuck in a rut. I mean, Guy and Radar were talking about coming up here at one point, and I actually had a job set up for them, but our store manager at the time, the big boss of the big store, was an idiot and took like a month to get a hold of them. And I guess Guy has a better job now, but I mean, I have 2 jobs coming up. There's two openings, and we're like, we can fill these with people we know if somebody wants to come up here. And nobody really wants to make that jump. And I'm not saying you and Agnes. I'm just saying nobody really wants to make the jump. And it's it's one of those things where it's available. It's something that will give you a great experience on your resume. But nobody really wants to do it. We did it because we wanted a better life for our kids, but all 5 of them, and this was the only real way to do it. Unfortunately, if we had done it the way we were going to do it, all it would really do was help my ex-wife, and that wasn't what we wanted to do.
Yeah, because she needs more help, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Thousands of dollars of child support and government payments she's getting isn't enough to keep her.
She's probably watching right now.
What's that, honey?
So be careful. She's probably watching right now.
She is probably watching right now. She's probably one of the 4 people watching, but she can know that we didn't do things the way we were going to do it because she would have been the recipient of it. And that's fine. She can't do anything about that. I'm not saying we're cheating her in any way because we're not.
That bitch even have a job or still living off welfare?
She is.
Oh, well, I'm glad she's a contributing member of society.
Mm-hmm.
But
Sorry?
Did she email you back?
No, she never emailed me back. She doesn't like the fact that you emailed her the fuck you email.
Mm-hmm. Still never gave you an update on it again. I'm pretty sure he's getting out soon if they're doing a plan up there.
If they're doing a plan, carrying out, and that's the problem because what will happen is he's going to go home and he's going to go right back to where he was, and then she's going to have to come to us for help again, and we're going to tell her, you know what, you want us to have him? We're taking full custody of him, and that's just the way it is.
She won't ask us again.
No, but she asked us again. It goes into paperwork that she came to us a second time for help.
Her family won't let her do it.
You know what we're talking about, Greg. We've talked to you about it.
I know. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's. I don't want to give too much of my opinion because I always give my opinion and get your chat taken down. So.
Greg doesn't want to give his opinion, so we don't have to take the chat down.
Oh, okay.
But
Alicia likes you and hates you at the same time.
Hey, my wife.
Not hate. Hate is a big word, I guess.
I just hope they're both playing glasses.
My wife feels the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So does your dog, apparently.
Yeah. Well, he's a bit of a dick sometimes. He's sleeping now, but we got to take him for a walk. We got to wake him up. He's gonna get all.
I love that you're wearing an albino Rhino Beer Fest shirt.
I've got like 20 of them.
Yeah,
I just keep rotating them.
Yeah.
This is one of my older ones. I think this one has holes in the
Yeah,
armpits. Does it?
Yeah, that's one of the ones from Lee's design. Isn't it?
Yeah, there we go. I'm classy like that. I wear shirts with holes in them. Yeah, no, but you know what? The albino Rhino Sex Fest shirt. That's special occasions. That is saved.
I'm surprised you didn't wear that to my parents' house today for their 40th anniversary.
Oh, I should have.
See, I'm sort of sad that you got angry at me when Brian made a better design because I'm like, you know what? I'll use it because I didn't pay either of them. I mean, they both got free beer. I mean, he still got free beer anytime he came to the festival, even without the designing of the shirt. But we always wanted to be slightly more professional. So when Brian came up with this like professional logo, I'm like, that actually brings us a little further forward because we were slowly coming from the back end to, oh my God, this is a beer festival that doesn't pay any money towards advertising. That is the favorite beer festival in Ontario, right? So it was like, oh look, we have a professional logo too.
Yeah, but not as professional as the 2 rhinos banging out.
That was also Brian that did that, and that was done as a joke. And we only ran 30 shirts of that, and so you have whatever amount you have.
I was so happy that I got one because you told me you didn't think you had any more, and then you found it you found one dusty in your basement. I'm like, I'll take it. I don't care.
Yeah, I have like here. I have a gray one. I have a gray one and a blue one here.
Wow.
But I got too fat because Alicia cooks too well.
Oh, there you go. Well, is it hard to do the keto diet up there?
It is and it isn't. Like you can do a keto diet up here because meat is the big thing, but at the same time, there's
unless you're hunting it, it's fucking expensive.
Yeah, unless you're hunting. If you're hunting, you could do the keto diet easily. If you're not, meat is expensive.
And it's hard to get a selection of vegetables. People pay a lot of money for it. Come on.
And yeah, your vegetable selection is very minimal.
Oh man, no wonder Nick won't go up there. He loves his vegetables.
See, Nick is one of the guys that would actually want to do this, but it is what it is. I mean, I've offered it to a lot of people. I offered it to everybody I knew that didn't have a wife or kids or anything. I'm like, do you guys want to come up here? Because this place you could come and actually make something that would bring you back home with something, like. And
yeah,
I mean, you can easily apply for the job yourself. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say it's also a lot to ask from someone for instance, what's that?
A lot to give up.
It's a lot to give up, but I mean, look, like Nick's got parents that I think are on the elderly side. Like, what if he goes up to Nunavut and then something happens to one of them, and he can't get back there to even say bye to them? Like that's a big ask, for people.
Yeah. And unless COVID-19 is happening, you'd be able to get back to say your goodbyes. We actually had a guy in our training class that what happened was he came up. And a year into his service, he had to go back because something happened with his family. So he went back and he was with his family for 2 years, and then he came back up to finish doing his service. I mean, there are things that happen, and the company understands that. I'm not looking at people with children and all that. We did it because we knew what we wanted for our children. We knew what type of life we wanted to give them, and we knew how we had to work to do that. I offer this position mostly to people that don't have children because I'm like, hey, this is available. Do you want it? And some of them think about it and they're like, oh, there's no easy access to beer. There's no easy access to this. No, thanks. Like, well, if you want to get ahead and you're one of the people that is floundering, there's only one real way to get ahead, and it's to just leave. And we were worried about that. I mean, when we left, I left a great job in the casino, and she left a great job in her job as an ECE. But we both would still be unemployed to this date if we had stayed in the South. We would have lost our house by now. So at the same time, we did great for ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they're evicting people from their houses right now, with mortgage payments and shit.
Well, but they wouldn't have had money like that.
Yeah.
A lot of people are struggling right now. I know CERB would have come in, but that's running out.
Yeah. Oh, anyways, Mr. Chad, I'm going to have to say goodbye to you because we got to walk the aisle, and I got to go to bed because I'm one of those lucky few that's an essential worker, and I go to work.
Yeah.
I go to work Monday to Friday, so.
Well, tomorrow's my day off, so yay for me.
Well, there you go. Well, you enjoy. Go prove to your wife that you can still get it up for her, or not for her, but
I'll
just
try.
This evening.
Alrighty, guys. Guys, I say guys is because it's you and Agnes. Agnes, I love you. Greg,
guys,
I love you. No, I love you too, Greg. Anyway, bye, guys.
Bye.